In breaking news just coming in, Prime Minister Modi went to the Adampur Airbase in Punjab. He was briefed by Air Force personnel and he also interacted with our brave Jawans. This is the breaking we are getting at this point. Up on your screens, we get to the details. Prime Minister Modi went to the Adampur Airbase in Punjab and he was briefed by Air Force personnel and he also interacted with the soldiers. This comes after Prime Minister addressed the nation yesterday on Operation Sindoor, and we've also given you the highlights of his address. And here we see today Prime Minister visiting Adampur Air Base in Punjab, and he also interacted with the soldiers there. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has talked of India's resolve of not tolerating terrorism and how the scourge of terrorism will be dealt with an iron hand. Up on your screens, we have the visuals, the pictures of Prime Minister interacting with the Jawans there. He visited the Adampur Air Base in Punjab. Prime Minister Narendra Modi at Adampur Air Base. Remember, this is after he addressed the nation yesterday, and in the wake of Operation Sindoor, the Prime Minister was briefed on IAF's preparedness, and also he met the brave warriors who guard our skies with unmatched courage. Our correspondent Akshay Dongre is joining us on phone. Akshay, good afternoon. Get us more details. We are showing pictures of Prime Minister Narendra Modi visiting the Adampur Air Base in Punjab, and he also interacted with the Jawans there. Get us more. What more can you add?
Well, the meeting took place, the visit by Prime Minister Narendra Modi took place early morning today, and this is the same airbase that was one of the 4 air bases that were hit by a Pakistani strike. However, there was only some limited damage outside the perimeter of the airbase, in the vicinity. So there was no major damage. However, the visit by Prime Minister Narendra Modi has come as a major morale booster for the soldiers, especially at a point in time when there is a lot of confusion, there is a lot of panic situation as well, a lot of anxiety among people as well as the armed forces personnel that what is about to happen. And even though they display, unmatched courage and valiance as far as their duties are concerned, but it's human nature to have some sort of uncertainty and anxiety, especially when it comes to the family members of the armed forces. And this visit by Prime Minister Narendra Modi has boosted that very morale of the soldiers, which helps them in the face of adversity and in the face of danger, such as in a conflict situation. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi went to the airbase in Adampur, Punjab. This airbase is very close to the Pakistani borders as well. So, it gives a message to the Pakistani leadership, both the civil and the military leadership, that look, the Prime Minister of India himself has come to an airbase that you were trying to strike. So that also puts a lot of faith of the countrymen into the airbase, air defense systems across the country. Because if the Prime Minister himself can go to some of these front-line air bases, then that also shows how much confident he is as far as India's air defense systems are concerned, especially the indigenous ones that have been developed and set up here in the country, manufactured here, and they are now proving to be some of the best air defense systems, not only in the region but across the world. So that this visit has given a lot of messages, a lot of signals as far as the soldiers are concerned, and this morale boost has not only happened in Adampur but across the country. So because see, the soldiers work as an organization, it works as an institution. So if one part of, institution gets recognized, it is an automatic recognition for the entire machinery. So if the soldiers who are sitting even in Jammu and Kashmir, or who are sitting near Jalandhar, or who are sitting in Rajasthan, or who are even sitting in Northeast, doing their duty, if they get to know that the Prime Minister Narendra Modi has gone to front lines, has met the soldiers, it is in fact a morale booster for force, the entire naval officers and sailors who are in the sea, to the soldiers who are serving at air bases, who are part of the armed forces, who are part of the army or the Central Armed Police Forces. So the uniformed personnel who are protecting the country have, at this point in time, they have met with their leader. They have met with the head of the government, and that is, not only not weapons, not any kind of monetary support, and no support is it comes close to this kind of moral support that is being given to the Prime Minister, given by the Prime Minister, and while every other kind of support is also available by the government of India to these soldiers, but this moral support that is required the most in state of this confusion and hostilities, that is unmatched, and that is being recognized by the Prime Minister himself, with him going and meeting the soldiers.
Yes, indeed. Such a meeting of the Prime Minister with the Jawans indeed is a morale booster. But then, Akshay, given the address which the Prime Minister gave to the nation yesterday, he talked of how India will not tolerate terrorism and how the scourge of terrorism will be met with an iron fist. Having said that, we also saw the intensity of Operation Sindoor and how it successfully dismantled the terrorist infrastructure in Pakistan. But then, how do you gauge the situation, the present situation? Yesterday, we saw the DGMOs of both the countries talk, and also Prime Minister did say that now the next action will depend on what Pakistan does. So India is keeping a close watch, and Prime Minister did not mince words when he said that India will not take terrorism lightly now.
Well, yes, that's true, and that's something that the government has been, as well as we have been reiterating. A message has been already given to Pakistan that it's not only if you cross if you break the ceasefire or you start attacking the soldiers, that will be considered an act of war. An act of war will be considered irrespective if any kind of threat is to even a civilian or even a normal citizen. From any kind of force, be it direct or state actors or non-state actors, it will be an act of war. So that is the messaging that has been done.
Yes, Akshay. Also, for the benefit of our viewers, explain to us, or for that matter, let's first talk about the Prime Minister while addressing the nation yesterday, specifically talked of how self-reliant or Atmanirbhar our defense forces are now, and a true example of this was seen in the homegrown technology that was used during Operation Sindoor. What do we make of it? This was the best time when the self-reliance of the country, Atmanirbharta or Atmanirbhar Bharat, came to the forefront when we talk of Operation Sindoor.
Well, see, in any hostile environment, self-reliance on defense equipment is one of the only deciding factors that is taken into account as a certain support for the armed forces as well as for the security of the people. Because you do not know what country will make what demand if hostilities begin. Many of the world arms manufacturers are private entities. For example, if you take the fighter jets that we get from Sweden or America, if you look at the US fighter aircraft, they have been researched and manufactured by Lockheed Martin or Boeing. If you go to Europe, there are different companies such as Dassault, from whom we have gotten Rafale. There are other companies such as Saab, which give JAS Gripen fighters to the world. So all of these entities are also private in nature. You cannot cannot depend on any other country when once war breaks out. It can be difficult. There can be diplomatic challenges, or a country might just turn their back on you for whatever reason. So it's important to have a sustainable defense infrastructure in the country that is also reliable, and that is what has saved many of the people and many of the casualties because of the Akash air defense systems. Because in a state of war, we don't even have to depend entirely on S-400s or other air defense systems. And then if, let's say, the conflict continues, then there is always a chance of shortage of ammunition or armament or repair parts that you have to rely on another country to provide. And let's say the other country is not able to provide, then you are in a state of jeopardy. So that's why perhaps, Atmanirbharta has been promoted and will be one of the most important aspects of our defense preparations.
Yes, indeed. So this is the breaking news we're getting for you at present. Our correspondent Akshay Dongre was telling us more on this.